Well, hey, everybody, this is Heidi St. John, and I am blessed and encouraged and excited to have my friend Dr. Mark Sherwood on the program with me today. We're going to take the next little bit of time answering listener questions, and we're going to come back for happy hour and do it even more. So stick around, you guys. I think you're going to be encouraged. Well, Dr. Mark Sherwood, my friend.
Hey, it's good to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, and I told you that I actually washed my hydrogen bottle and left it drying by the front door today, but you brought yours.
I did. Just for the sake of, I promised, at least one of us is going to get a toast to this, even in.
Hey man, I have water in my cup, so I'll just toast you, and I'm very sad because I brought it to work every other day, but today.
I'm going to get mine warmed up right now. It's full of water, and now the light is on.
Yeah, show everybody the bubbles because that's cool.
Okay, this hydrogen is being made by this little conduction machine down here. It's called electrolysis, separate chamber. Gas is coming through the chamber up into the water. That's the bubbles. These are hydrogen gas bubbles. The water becomes a carrier of the hydrogen. Hydrogen is the smallest molecule on the periodic table, and it's the only thing that's able to selectively quench or cut in half excessive free radicals. Whoa, wait a minute. So the free radicals are these things that actually increase the aging process at the cell level. So when a cell becomes aged, it's called a senescent cell or a senile cell. And it begins to get where it's becoming
a Biden cell.
Yeah, like a zombie cell. There you go. And so, we want to see how we can prevent the accumulation of these zombie cells in our body. So the best way to do that is have hydrogen that's carried in water. Fascinating thing about this is when you drink it, it goes into the GI system. How many people have GI issues? Hello? That's kind of free radical minimization slows down inflammation. The next place it goes to is your liver. That's the first organ system where all the detoxification occurs. So I believe as the studies continue to come out about this, that this is going to become one of the little weapons that we can use to sort of beginning to optimize our biological aging process and avoid a lot of these things. It's not a cure-all, but when you drink your water, make it count. Everybody needs to be drinking hydrogen water.
I love it. I love that little bottle too. I've been using it. Once I figured it out, you had to explain it to me because I am a little challenged. But once I figured it out, I use that all the time. I've been taking it in my sauna with me first thing in the morning. So that's the first thing I'm drinking in the morning. And I really do. I love it. So I'm excited. And I promise I will have it next time and it'll be clean.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. Well, I mean, I had it coming. All right. Beth in Kansas City says, what is the best treatment? This is a great question.
Yeah.
What's the best treatment for ovarian cysts? We really don't want to put our 16-year-old daughter on birth control pills, but she has so much pain every other month due to the cyst and severe cramps on the first day of her period. What should they do? This is a great question.
So, Beth, I'm going to give you a great resource. First of all, I want you to read a book called PCOS SOS. A great friend of mine wrote that, and she did an incredible job of outlining the idea of having these ovarian cysts. Now, from the standpoint of your daughter, one thing you can do is you can sort of go back forth and think, why did these cysts develop in the first place? Well, in the formation of the egg part of that, you had this incomplete development, which ended up forming these cysts. And so when you look at what you can do with that, you can go back and say, what can I do to minimize increased accumulation of these ovarian cysts? That's going to be the anti-inflammatory food intake, right? So you're going to avoid anything from the corn, soy, especially families that contain estrogenic compounds. Again, common sense. I would start taking some DIM, D-I-M. That would be very good to help detoxify. And also...
Wait. DIM? Does it stand for something? It must.
DIM. Yeah, it stands for diindolylmethane.
What does that do?
It comes from like broccoli and cauliflower, and it basically helps detoxify rogue estrogenic compounds.
Get out of town. Where do you find that?
Yeah, we have this on our site. People can go there at sherwood.tv/Heidi and look for DIM, D-I-M. And generally speaking, a couple hundred milligrams is really good. One other thing that you can probably use too is something called high dose broccoli sprout powder, which is in capsules. Now, this is not on our website. People reach out for us because this is a wonderful thing to help with female estrogenic detox issues. And it's called Broccolox, Broccolox. And it's high dose broccoli sprout powder that we import from actually New Zealand, go figure. And so it's in a capsule. The dose is 2. It smells like broccoli, tastes like broccoli, so don't pull the capsules apart unless you just have to. But it's really good. And so
would microgreens be good for her then? I mean, if that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because I am, well, you know me, I've been growing microgreens now for about 2.5 years. And excellent. I'm telling you, it smells like broccoli. Little microgreen broccoli. It smells like broccoli. I grew beets in the last growing cycle. And I decided I don't like beets. I mean, I like them when they're pickled, but I just really don't. Beets taste like dirt to me. I was
microgreens are very important to use because they are small. Think about this, and it's going to be commonsensical, everybody, and that's why I believe everybody's using this. Young people have more energy than older people, don't they?
Yep.
For the most part. Young plants have more nutritional potential energy than old plants. So consume young plants to become younger, older. How about that?
I love that. And microgreens, my goodness. I mean, so I'll link back to the stuff I've been doing in the show notes today because you can grow them. And I mean, I actually took a picture. Oh, I should send it to you, Mark. I in the middle of our ice storm that we had here a couple of weeks ago, you could see it's snowing outside, and everything. And here's my little happy garden just sitting in my window. Everyone's like, you can't grow those on the Northwest in the wintertime. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. They just need a little bit of light and just stick them in the window and off to the races. Jennifer in Texas is asking about your hydrogen bottle. She wants to know what hydrogen bottle you recommend. Should she look for certain things when purchasing one? Is a bottle better than adding the tablet to water?
Yeah, Jennifer in Texas, thanks for your question. Those magnesium tablets that drop in the water, they work pretty well. They do have, it's a little bit of the elemental magnesium is what it is. And so you start getting a little fizzy action with that. It's like a high-powered Alka-Seltzer. Now, Jennifer, you will see that actually fills your bottle full of hydrogen quite well. But you'll also see a dingy tint, kind of a gray tint from that elemental magnesium. And it can have a little bit of, perhaps a tiny bit of lead and stuff like that in it, which I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. But the water doesn't taste as good. I used to use those. I did, in all fact. And so after that, I started looking at a bottle, a hydrogen technology bottle that would provide the hydrogen gas in a separate compartment. Like I noted a moment ago, when you look for hydrogen bottles, you want to have the gas produced in a separate compartment, not have the electrolysis going into your own water, because that could change potentially the chemical structure of that water, right? So separate compartments, very key. You want to be able to keep it clean because you can sort of get mold in there. I think that probably...
That's where mine is right now. It's drying on the rack.
Durability is key too. Is it operate by batteries? Is it operated by like this one has a USB port, so it's got a charge on it, kind of handy.
You just plug it right into your computer, even.
Totally, and I use it all day long. So,
have you opened that one yet?
Yeah, this one here
right now. Yeah, I should open. Everyone can hear it.
Okay, ready, everybody? Here we go. Hear the pop. Now watch the gas come out. Here's the gas.
That's cool.
Isn't that neat? So cheers to hydrogen.
Well, sad. I don't have mine with me, but okay, I'll drink this water.
Yeah, there we go. Drink to that.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Really good stuff, though. But
so people can get the bottle that you have and the one that I have on your website, Sherwood.tv/Heidi.
Yep. And if they want to go to even a more direct link just to the bottle, that we got, they can go to fmidr.com/H2.
Ooh, I love that.
Love
it. I love it. All right. We have a VIP question from a subscriber in California. Her name is Stacy. She says, "Hi, Heidi and Dr. Mark. Thank you so much for all the information that you pour out to us. You guys are a blessing. My question is, I'm about to turn 44, and for the past few years, I've been experiencing major brain fog." Oof, I can relate. "I am a homeschooling mom to 5 kids, ranging from toddler to high schooler, so I know that I'm busy. I try to give myself grace. but I've not been any busier than usual these past few years. I'm wondering if this could be the beginning signs of menopause or hormone changes. Are there vitamin supplements that you can help me combat this brain fog? Ooh, I'm gonna write this down.
This is good. So
brain fog. It's a real thing.
it is. Brain fogginess is very common today when people come into our clinic or wherever we deal with them online. And it's a common complaint. Stacey, two things. Number one, you're not old, so embrace that thought.
Right, and Mark and I, without sharing how old we are, will tell you you're quite a bit younger than we are. So, 44, you're good, girl.
You could be my daughter. No,
no, that's not true.
No. And then, secondly, you're a hero, Stacey, because being a homeschool mom is
Amen.
Takes courage, and it's right, and God blesses and honors that. So do we. So thank you for that.
Yep.
So here's the thing. Yes, you're going to be at a perimenopausal time. Menopause begins more or less about 51. The signs and symptoms of perimenopause began 15 years prior, so usually back in the 30s. What typically happens in that window of time is you start losing a little bit of the regularity of your cycle. You start producing a consistent amount of estradiol, but you start losing a little bit of progesterone and testosterone. So that can sort of present itself with a little bit of weight retention. So weight retention, when the fat tissue comes on and doesn't come off, we end up getting a connection with the thyroid. So the thyroid will begin to start functioning lower and slowing down metabolism. When the thyroid goes low, brain fog is synonymous, literally every single time. So, Stacey, from a standpoint of first, you want to know what you're looking at. So, you want to probably get a check of your labs to see what those are. Now, what you want to do for brain fog, there's a couple things you can do like right now. There's some nutrients out there that you probably heard of, like things like ginseng. Ginseng is kind of a brain nutrient. Acetyl L-carnitine is a brain nutrient. L-theanine can create some brain relaxation. I like to use a little bit of GABA, G-A-B-A, which tones down the anxiety in the brain. It stands for gamma aminobutyric acid, by the way. If people want to put all this into a cocktail, I like using a cocktail called Brain Vital. And that one works really, really well. The dose is 2, and it's got all those things in there that I just talked about. And I personally use that, so I don't mind telling you that. I use it before I go to bed, and I take 2 caps at night. People say, why at bedtime? It's because at nighttime, the brain goes through this
resting.
Yeah, it's resting, and it goes through an intense washing cleaning system called the glymphatic drainage system. So the brain, sort of the neurons widen out, and it's like a brain washing machine that goes on, and I want my brain to be full and clean the next time I wake up in the morning.
So you can swallow those 2 pills with your hydrogen water.
Boom. That's what you do right there.
Bam. I love that. I'm going to have to look into that. I'll tell you. Because I do think the brain fog thing is real, and it's frustrating. Yes. Right. Because you go to the top of the stairs. Does this ever happen to you? Like, it happens to me. I go upstairs and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. And a lot of people
I don't know why I just came up the stairs. Or, it's getting really bad. And I've noticed this really. And I think when people are really busy too, your brain can only handle so much. Right. So if it's not like necessary to your life, it's going to be like, yep, we're not remembering that, But I'll go out into a parking lot and just forget where I parked. I have to really think now. If I'm going into Costco, I think to myself, I am right here. I'm right in the front. So that when I come out, I'm not like, shoot, fire. I don't remember where I parked. I hate that.
What happens is we're so connected today, and we're so driven today that we kind of sort of work our brain out of that critical thinking area,
Yeah.
It's more kind of the emotional stress side of things because we're really on autopilot. And of course, that can be translated to brain fog, the forgetfulness, temporary spaciness.
Yeah, it's no joke, man. It's no joke. I'm gonna check out that Brain Vital. I love that. All right, Anonymous in Florida. Thank you, Dr. Mark, for the love that you bring. You're a hope dealer, I tell you. Bringing encouragement, great information. What do you think about Dr. Christopher's herbal formulas like bone and tissue? Or Mind Track. Also, what would you recommend for a Christian husband that has severe anxiety that is just constant, not triggered by anything in particular?
Well, I appreciate the question, Florida, and thanks for your kind words. We try to be some hope dealers and encouragement for people. I'm not familiar with those specific formulas because, like, I look at a formula, I look at the ingredients and things like that. You're more than welcome to reach out to us on our website and send us a copy, like a picture of the label side, and I'll be glad to respond to that. That's no problem at all.
I just texted you with it.
Oh, perfect. And then ultimately, the thing about your husband from a Christian perspective is fear is not of God.
Yep.
And I want your husband, maybe if he's gone back and listened to this, to know that there's nothing wrong with you, sir. It's one of the things that fear tries to get in people and on people. We have to begin to go back and really understand what we control, what we don't control, what we really understand is true, what we know is not true, or what we wonder about. And it's really analysis. And I think that your husband probably needs to look at things like a GAB. I just mentioned that thing to be a little calmness to the brain and work on increasing, maybe go for a walk together, grab his hand, let's go for a walk.
It's good.
Metabolizing adrenaline is sort of a thing that can help with this too. And it always makes people feel good. You live in Florida? I think there's a nice beach somewhere around there. So those would be things that would be very constructive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I'd love to hear what you think about this, but I have had so much wonderful success with ashwagandha. Like it was life-changing for me. And I started tracking sort of anxiety attacks and that kind of thing, especially when I finally weaned off the SSRIs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that has been tremendously helpful for me. And I know there are a lot of people who have had experience with ashwagandha. The key is getting a good one, right? And not getting a garbage one, because there's so much garbage out there.
There is. And I just got this, Dr. Christopher. Thanks for texting it to me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, this would be perfectly okay. Its ingredients, skullcap, valerian, they're kind of a little bit of brain relaxers. St. John wort has been used kind of an antidepressant. Ginkgo, sarsaparilla, dandelion, 2 caps a day, 3 times a day. I'd probably start out with maybe 2 caps, maybe in the afternoon, and kind of work my way up to that 3 times a day with it, because that's 6 caps a day. Like with any of these sort of botanicals and herbs and things like that, we know that they don't respond the same with everybody. So always start low, go slow, analyze your way through, and that way you'll guarantee yourself the right progress.
That's good. I love that. I love it. Anonymous in Pennsylvania. My husband's been on Suboxone for many years. He'd like to eventually stop taking it. What are some things he can do to help his body in the process?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because you get on, people that don't know, Suboxone is like the drug of choice for withdrawal of opioids, right? Opioids is a bad problem. We all know about the fentanyl issue, but let's go back to the oxycodone issue that we kind of started, So Suboxone is there, but Suboxone is also somewhat addictive. People try to get off that. And I was working with a gentleman here in the last 2 months with that process. And this is what we are currently doing with that gentleman, okay? We're not withdrawing the Suboxone cold. Don't do that. That's a bad deal. What we are doing is increasing herbs, that things like a brain vital. I am using a peptide on this person called CMAX, SEMAX, and C-Lank, SELANK. It's an intranasal, right? And I'm trying to get it across his brain. I'm starting off with 2 pumps up each nostril at bedtime. And we're working through that to create less anxiety, more brain calm. And then the plan is to begin to slowly, with no time frame, withdraw the Suboxone and see how the person does.
Well, that's good. I think there are a lot of people who are, we talked about alcohol last time you were on here, and we've gotten a tremendous response to that. A lot of people just saying, hey, the last several years have been really hard. And, you and I saw this. You ran for governor. I ran for Congress. You and I are kind of like doers. We're like, okay, Laura, what would you like us to do? And seeing this sort of response that people have had to the lockdowns and, the income going down and all of the things, I think it's encouraging to see someone with a natural approach to say, hey, you can do this. And that's really what I'm hearing you say is it's possible, so that people don't feel like I'm stuck in this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think another thing, a lot of people are being pushed in to go from Suboxone to things like Kratom. Just know that that's out there, and that is a terrible thing. That's even tied to pancreatitis. I recently dealt with a person that ended up in the hospital with pancreatitis because of using that. So you can even use like full spectrum hemp that contains a little bit of CBD or cannabidiols. That also is something we've used with great success, and those are more natural ingredients that actually are not going to harm, but are going to help the body function.
I appreciate that so much. I know you're bringing a lot of hope to a lot of people today. We're out of time for the regular show, and we're going to come back in just a minute on Happy Hour. We're going to be talking about hypothyroidism. We've got several questions about that, and then a question from a family who has had their 2-year-old was injured after vaccine. So we'll be talking a little bit about vaccine injury and some of the questions that come in about the Rona, that kind of thing. So Dr. Mark Sherwood's going to join me in just a minute for Happy Hour. In the meantime, my friend, where can people find you online?
Yeah, go to sherwood.tv/Heidi, and many go there, and many we get to work with and be a part of their lives, and we're really blessed to do that.
Yeah, I love it. You guys, we've been working with you for a while. Boy, what's the cream you sent me for my face? It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's called GHK Copper Cream. And just 2 days ago, I was talking to someone that was referred from this show, and she said, I want the cream that makes Heidi's face look so good. And I said, oh, that's GHK Copper. There you go.
Come on.
Seriously, that happened.
Okay. I'll pay you later. No, but really, I'm telling you, I was just talking to Jay this morning when I was getting ready to come into the studio, and I'm not trying to brag, but my skin looks good. Yeah. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So I mean, hats off to you. I love that stuff. It's great. I'm going to actually, Jay's going to start taking it too, I think.
Oh my God. See, Jay, man after my own heart. Go, dude.
Yeah. You go. You go. You don't have to revoke your man card. Your skin can look good.
You become more of a man card when you start using face cream, man. You're more of a man than you ever thought.
I love it. I'll tell him that you said that. Dr. Mark Sherwood, you're a hope dealer. Thank you so much, my friend, for coming on the show. And we'll see you again real soon. Actually, we'll see you again in 2 minutes in Happy Hour. Thanks for coming on the show.
Here's the Happy Hour.
For more information on my friend, Dr. Mark Sherwood, head on over to sherwood.tv/Heidi. And I hope that these shows are encouraging to you. We love doing them. I look forward so much to talking to Dr. Mark Sherwood. You guys check out what they're doing in Oklahoma, because they really are bringing hope to people and giving alternatives to what we've been stuck with for so many generations in the country. And so I've been really encouraged. I know you guys will be too. For those of you who are subscribed to the show, stick around. We've got more for you. We're going to continue answering listener questions right here at the intersection of faith and culture.